In this video, we're covering advanced yellow belt groundwork, which is your blue stripe. Okay, we're going to start with the kneeling side slap out. All right, so Miss Virginia's going to kneel down. She's going to put her arms out in front of her. We call the zombie pose. Now, a side slap out is falling to one side or the other. So she's going to, we call it crumpling. She's just going to kind of slowly fall to one side or the other. Notice that she sat kind of back down and then she fell sideways. When she does that perfectly, her arms are out straight ahead of her. She doesn't want her arms up over her head. She might injure her shoulder. So she wants it in front of her body, and she would slap the ground with her palms. After she does that, she's going to do a side kick. So she's going to look at me and she's going to throw a side kick. As she did it perfectly, not above my knee, she's making sure that she's below my knee, okay? From there, she would just come up on her elbow, and then she would do her technical get up, okay? So again, side slap out. She would crumple down, fall to the side, and shoot out that side kick. Always remembering to do your break fall first, then do your kick. And that is your side slap out from a kneeling position. Your takedown that you're going to learn at advanced yellow belt blue stripe is what's called a back sweep takedown. Okay, now we've moved from doing our grappling link up, kneeling down, to standing up. So Miss Virginia and Sensei Kevin are going to get in the grappling link up, which is the same. When you're kneeling, you're just standing up, but one hand on one shoulder, the other person on the opposite shoulder, and then you're grabbing under the elbow. So first she wants to pull that elbow in towards her center, off balancing Sensei Kevin. Then she's going to step with her leg that's closest to him. She's going to step past him, and then she's going to kick that leg back really fast, knocking his leg out from underneath him, okay? Really important to off-balance your partner, okay? So let's try that one more time, okay? So she's really making sure that she's off-balanced him, and she keeps him off-balance as she steps. Very good. Now, I want to show you two mistakes that most people make. The first mistake they make is not keeping that forward pressure and keeping the person off balance. So off balance him first, now step through, but let him kind of come up. See, now Sensei Kevin can reverse it on her and take her down, okay? So it's really important you keep that person off balance. The second mistake they make is they get the person off balance, and then they step right behind their foot, and they try to pull with their leg. It's not going to work. You need to swing that leg and knock that leg right out from underneath him. And that is your back sweep takedown. Now, at this stripe, you're working on escaping from the mounted position. You learned the mounted position in the last belt. Now you're learning how to escape from it if somebody has mounted you. This is the second worst place that you can be. We call this a bully position because Sensei Kevin can easily sit up and start throwing punches down on Miss Virginia, and she can't, if she puts her hand straight up, she can't reach his face, but he can reach hers, very simply, okay? So she doesn't want to be there at all, but if she is, she wants to be there as little as possible. So she's going to do something termed the shark bite, so to escape from the standard mount. Sensei Kevin has both his hands posted on the floor. That's when you do this technique. So Miss Virginia is going to take a bite out of his arm. So she comes inside his arm, and then she wraps around and she squeezes it tight to her body. Now, Sensei Kevin turned his hand over. This is important if you're practicing at home. Have your partner turn that hand over, because otherwise when they roll, they're going to roll their wrist, okay? So now she's taken away this leg of the table. She needs to take this leg and move it out so that she takes away this leg of the table. Now she's perfectly safe to lift her hips and roll Kevin towards the side that she's trapped. That's how you always know, okay? And then she ends up in Kevin's guard, and she would use her hands on his stomach to push up, and she would get out of dodge as quick as she can. Okay, let's do that one more time. Okay, so she traps the arm, she traps the leg, she lifts, and she rolls. She puts her hands on his knot of his belt and pushes up as she takes off, and she gets out of there. okay? And that is the standard mount escape. Now we're going to cover the headlock mount escape or the spider kid. So again, they're down in the mounted position, but this time Sensei Kevin has his arm behind her neck. Now we've already covered that if someone knows how to control the mounted position, they would know how to switch arms. So she needs to make sure that he can't switch his arms, his position, so that he's based out. So she's going to trap this arm by simply just reaching up and hooking her hand, almost like she's reaching up to like scratch her ear or whatever, and she's going to hook that arm so he can't pull that arm out to that side. So now she knows that that's the way she's going to roll him. So she's going to trap that foot. Now she's taking both legs of the table. Same thing, she lifts her and she rolls. Okay? And she would push and take off. Okay? And then the last one we're going to cover was called the punch block. And this is the one, so the bully has gotten you down and they sit up to try to throw punches at you. First thing she would do is she wants to get Sensei Kevin to put his hands on the floor. So she bumps and pulls him down. Once she gets his hands on the floor, she just does her shark bite. So again, she takes him down, shark bites, and she rolls him. Okay? So the shark bite and the punch block are the same technique. The only difference is for the punch block, you have to get the person to put their hands down on the floor. And that's the only difference. And that is our mount escapes.